welcome to the Antique Trader, and we're here at the Craft Peaks Mall in San Antonio, Texas. And I have a special guest here with me, Tammy Martinez, and Tammy's going to help me out with a question that I'm going to ask a couple of other guests that we have at the lounge here at the Garden Tea Lounge. And I happen to have a very fine statue here, and it's a mystery statue for now because it seems like everybody that I ask, I get a different answer. Now, Tammy, what do you think this statue is all about, and who do you think it is?
Okay, well, I looked at it and I have different thoughts, and
Well, express your thoughts. That's the part that we want to hear.
I'm afraid.
No, that's very interesting.
Okay. Well, see, I was thinking that maybe it was Athena or, some kind of, Greek goddess. Well, yeah. And, but then I see a shield over here with some stars on it, and I was thinking like another version of Lady Liberty, maybe, I don't know. So, what is that other thing? Is that a parasol? Oh, that's a sword. Okay, it's a sword. Okay, I have no clue, but you're probably going to make me look stupid, but...
No. And the thing is...
I'm probably going to feel stupid.
No, I don't want to give it away till I ask a couple of the other people.
Okay, I don't know.
So that's about all the guesses that you have on this one?
That's all the guesses that I have. I'm thinking it has something to do with America.
Okay. What was your first impression when you first saw it and I asked you the question?
Well, my first impression, like I said, was a goddess, and then I saw the plume on the head, and so I'm thinking Indian, like the chiefs wore things like that.
But it's not a plume. Do you realize that it's not?
Oh, okay. Oh, well, is that an eagle?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Well, I don't know eagles that have wings like that.
The thing is, his wings are back. They're stretched back.
Okay, so there's okay, so I'm seeing a United States of America theme. You got eagle, you got star. What?
And then the first thing that she said to me, she says, "Is it a woman or a man?" Because it has breasts. We're having fun with this one, okay? So now, before I give it away, I thought I might ask some of the boys in the audience here.
I have to wait?
I think it would be great if we all waited. So why don't you give me a minute, and why don't you go ask one of the guys to come up here, please?
Okay, I will. All right.
And then before we end this whole thing, we'll give you the answer sitting down so you don't fall keel over.
Okay. Should I get up and go now?
Yeah, please.
Okay. All right.
So while you're waiting for one of the boys to come up here, like I said, I own this, and I purchased it many, many years ago, and I like to collect statues and whatnot. And like she said, Greek goddesses, I have a couple of those and whatnot, and the statue of Hercules and whatever. But I picked up this one, and I thought it was very, very interesting. But really, she is correct. You can't tell whether it's a woman or a man. I had a problem deciding that myself. And everyone that I've asked has given me a different answer. So, and here comes my other guest now, 2 minutes, I think. Okay, here we go. And could you tell me your name, please?
My name is Jack.
Okay, Jack. Could you tell me if you recognize and see what this is? Your honest opinion.
I don't know, like...
Take a wild guess and just tell me what you see and what you think it might be.
Some kind of, like... I don't know, like from the, founding fathers, around that period, maybe? Like a statue that they...
Okay, what kind of founding fathers are we talking about here?
I don't know. I just see a shield with stars and I don't know. Like American founding fathers.
Okay, so you've never seen anything like this, and you've never Nobody's ever mentioned to this in school or anything like that.
No.
Okay, Jack. Let's see if I can interview one of the other boys. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
And we'll give you the answer in a couple of minutes. It should be
Okay.
very interesting.
I'm excited.
Okay, you can come around this way. Hi, thanks. Your name is?
Christian.
Christian. Okay, this is the question. Who do you think this might be?
Looks like the symbol that represents justice on like the judicial
Okay,
crest.
okay. Have you ever seen it before, or?
Not really.
Okay,
Don't
so
really.
that's
It's just,
it. That's about the answer that you have.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Christian. We'll give you the answer in a couple of minutes. And you're next? And your name?
Marco.
Marco. Okay, what do you think this might be?
I have no idea.
Take a couple of guesses. That's what we're trying to figure out.
So, yeah, it looks very American, and it has the shield. It's also kind of Greek. It has an eagle on the head. It's kind of reminding me of Athena or like Lady Justice or something. But I'm not too sure.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll give you the answer in just about a couple of minutes. And this is going to put the icing on the cake. Okay. This was a statue that was created by Thomas Crawford. Okay. And it sits on top of the Capitol building in Washington, D.C., all the way up on top. And I'm going to show you a picture.
Wow.
Very interesting, but we got everybody.
Who
This is
knew?
something they should have taught us in school in history class, and I guess from now on they'll be putting it in the curriculum, right?
Yeah, they should.
They should.
yeah,
Part of history.
okay.
Okay, here we go. Let's show a picture here. That's that,
Right. Oh, wow, look at that.
and it's right on top of there. And I didn't know myself what it was because I never heard of it in school. I asked a couple of school teachers, they didn't know what it was either.
Wow.
And I said, this is part of history. Why don't we know about this?
1855 too.
Thomas
Nice.
Crawford.
That's when he.
Let me show you this.
That is too cool.
Is
Yeah.
that not
That's
interesting?
very interesting. So I wonder how big it is.
Well, I have the whole history here. I was reading this all night. That's why I didn't get any sleep.
Yeah.
Oh. Mella. Come here, love. Okay, so would you like to say, I'd like to thank the gentleman that came up here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And I hope you got a little bit of information out of that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay, would you like to sit 2 minutes while we go through this
Sure.
other
okay.
thing?
Okay. But thank
Okay.
you for that. That was really good, Sharon.
That was very interesting. I thought so myself. I was reading all night and researching.
I'm gonna take a picture of it. I have to
I think you should.
show my kids.
Yes. And they can go and stunt their teacher in September.
Well, you know, my daughter lives in She's lives in Virginia, and they go to Washington all the time to the monuments to, you know, just to take the kids. And I wonder, does she even know what that is? So that'll be really interesting.
I think that we should put it on Facebook
Yeah.
and
yeah.
find out what kind
How
of
many
responses
yeah.
we get.
Right.
Okay, let's start with this one. This is a Satsuma vase.
Very nice.
Okay, these are all handmade. And they were made in Japan, and this is the marking on the bottom of it. Let me see if I can hold it without breaking it. Okay, and these are made in Japan, and this one was made after 1952. but this is a replica. Can you imagine what the original would cost like?
Oh yeah.
I've seen the original in pictures, and this is a replica, and it's very expensive.
Sure.
So I also have you ever seen the geisha girls on the bottom of the cups?
Sure. Yes.
You have?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think anybody at home has ever seen that. Let's see if
Yeah.
we could show it here. I don't know if that's going to be in the way. Could you reach that for me, please? Thank you. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Let's see if you could see. The reason for those markings were that when the soldiers were overseas, they were in different districts, and in order to get them across into the United States so they wouldn't be questioned about them or anything, they used to mark them differently. And then after 1952, that the Allies occupied Japan, there were no longer markings on here. So this is the girl at the bottom there, the geisha girl, is actually a marking.
Right.
And then all of the others have different markings. I don't know if you could read which one. We have one, this one. This is, and they're called Dragonware, Nippon, Moriage, and it depends. Okay, so let's look at this. See if, because we can't seem to read that. Does that
Right.
say Dragonware?
Ritz, China. No.
Dragonware on the bottom.
Yeah, but I don't see where it says Dragonware. Yeah.
It has a marking on the bottom,
Yeah. I can't
but
make
I
that
don't know
out.
what it is. And this is Dragonware, what people call Dragonware. Every place you go and you see one of these pieces, oh, I like that dragon, that Dragonware. Okay. So let's put this down. And this is a different type. This is after World War II. It has no marking on the bottom. They're still handmade. And this is what we have for this. But the pieces are so beautiful.
Very ornate.
Yes, and a lot of people don't know what they are, and they don't know what they have. Okay, this says made in Japan, and this is a very, very popular design. As you can see, sometimes they call it beaded wear because they're all beaded, and the gold is actually 24 karat here. But this is all made by hand, which is very exciting. These are my
Beautiful.
pieces.
Beautiful.
Had somebody ask me, says, "Are you selling this?" No. And over here we have the same thing with the girl at the bottom of the cup, but it has no marking. This was after World War II, and then it's done on lusterware,
Right.
which is different. Let's see if we can put the lighting here. Sometimes the girls are very, very different at the bottom of the cup. Can we see that there? Okay. And let me see if I can get another one here. These are totally different. This is what they actually call dragonware because of the thing of the dragon, but it has no markings anywhere except that they call it dragonware. And some of these pieces are very, very rare. Okay, the cup is not marked, but the plate is marked and it says Japan on it. And this is a salt shaker. These are very, very hard to come by. When I found this one, I was like, I don't care how much they want for it, I want it. I have to have it. But this is a salt shaker, and they're very hard to come by. I wish I could come across the pepper shaker.
I'll keep an eye out.
I would appreciate that because, okay, and here we go. I had one that said Occupy Japan.
Oh, that would
But-
be great.
But you see how tiny they can get. And I have one that's even smaller that I have at the shop over there. And these are different designs. This one has the girl down at the bottom also, and I think she's a little bit different. But this has Kutani, China. Different marking on it. Different region, different marking on it. Let's see if I can show and see. I believe this girl might be different. I've got the dropsies today, so I don't want to drop this one. Okay, there we go. So let's see here. And this is an odd piece also. This is made in Japan, but this is an extremely old piece. As a matter of fact, I found it and it doesn't even have the lid on it. But you could tell that it's older than the other pieces because the paint has worn off with time. It hasn't been mistreated because I don't think they used it much, but they just use it for decorative purposes.
Nice.
And this is very odd to come by. The dolls. Let me see. She is made in Japan, once again, and she's beaded.
I love that beaded work.
Isn't it beautiful?
Beautiful.
She's beaded, and let's see. I haven't been able to find another one like her. I've been looking because I know that there's a female and there has to be a male or the little children or whatnot. But this is amazing. You want to touch this? Because you'll never get to touch anything like that again.
I love that work. It's very detailed. It's beautiful.
Isn't it great? Yeah, let's just fit it right in there. And then let's take a look at this plate. This belongs to this cup over here.
Oh.
And this one, see, this one has a different girl at the bottom. But I fell in love. I used to collect a lot of the black with the golds, but I fell in love with the brown. Because they use so much of the orange with the browns.
It's very pretty.
Let's see if we could show this one. Because the girl seems to be different here. They're all different. I'm trying to get one of the cups and saucers that actually the saucer has two girls and the cup has two girls.
Oh, okay.
The geisha girls in there. Okay, let's put this down. And this happens to be one of the bigger plates, and of course this says shofu, made in Japan, which is a different region over there. And like I said, they had different regions, and that's how they marked everything that they had.
Right.
So, let's see if I can put that down here without breaking everything. Okay, and this happens to be one of
that
those.
like
This
that.
has no marking.
It's really
This
nice.
is just dragon wear. And you see the little dragon there with his little blue eyes. And I'm going to show you the plate that belongs to this is very detailed. It's a little bit thicker. The dragon happens to be a little bit thicker. Hand painted. What does it say? I can't read it there. It's so small. Natsumi, is it?
Setsons. It's like Setsons or Betsons.
This is a totally different marking from another area. And sometimes you have people that are looking for particular ones that come from a particular region, but can't be done. It's very hard to come by. Okay, this is another one, and this the dragon is partially made in gold, but it's also very, very thick. It has no markings on the bottom. But some of the dragons are not that thickly painted on there. It's very, very, very different. Okay, so that just about cuts it for this, and we will be right back.
Chiru has no choice. She and millions like her walk miles a day for dirty water. Together, we can end their walk by providing clean water. Because when you just add water, you change a life. Learn more at worldvision.org.
We are there, day one, with baby names and a gift that lasts a lifetime. We are there as you grow, protecting you and those you love. And we are there as you start your next chapter. We are with you through life's journey. We are Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. Get to know us at socialsecurity.gov.
This video produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Hi, welcome back, and I'm back here and we're going to be talking about irons. I found this little iron and it's very interesting. I haven't seen another one like it, and I says I have to bring it in to show it off. Well, anyway, iron are a part of history. They've been around forever and ever and ever. In Europe, they used to be called linen smoothers, stones, glass, and presses. And they used to heat them up on the coals, because when they used to cook with coals, or else they would have a pan with some charcoal in it. And mostly it started in Japan, in China, 1,000 years ago. And the method was already well established, that they used to take hot stones and smooth things out. Can you imagine 1,000 years ago they were pressing clothes? But anyway, I managed to find a couple of pictures of also. This was a manual press that was like a stone that they used to heat up. And what they did was they just kept going over and over and over the piece that they wanted it to smooth out. And then they had the stretching. I remember seeing something like this that my grandmother had, that when they had lace curtains and they used to wash them and they didn't want to press them, they used to stretch them out. And that I thought was very interesting. I says, why are you stretching out the curtains? Because they didn't want to press them. It was too much to press. Okay. And we have here a picture of another iron, one of the other irons that they used to have. But these irons are extremely, extremely heavy. These are flat irons and sat irons is what they're called. But the history of iron is very, very interesting, because as textiles have changed throughout the years, so have the irons. I mean, I wonder, and the one that created the first iron was a silversmith, which is very, very interesting. They, just like they did the horseshoes and everything else, they just printed the iron and whatnot, but I can't see what it says on this particular one. It has an engraving here, but I want to take it away from the glass table. This wouldn't be a good thing if I broke this table. But I just realized that the top comes off, and I assumed that they used to put coals in here. See if I can get this off. But they would have to take the whole thing apart. This kind of has a latch here. And if you have to unscrew that to go over there and put coals in there, I wonder how you would put coals without taking a screwdriver and taking this apart. So I don't know how they would do it. And as you can see on the bottom, they're not smooth like our irons. So I wonder how that worked without getting rust on your clothes or whatever it is. But I thought this was an interesting project to bring in to be discussed. This is really heavy. I would say this weighs about 10 pounds. But I know that you can find others, but this is the first one that I've seen that's actually like this. And I have some pictures of different irons that I found that I thought you might be interested in looking at. This one is one of those that they use in Europe. They actually heat them up in the fireplaces so that they can heat up the bed before they go to sleep. Because of course you know that they have fireplaces, but they don't have radiators. So they freeze at night, and most of these houses and whatnot either have very cold wood floors or marble floors. This one is another type of iron. That's very interesting. It's also a flat iron. And here we go. This one, this iron, you used to make it, in order to make it heavier, they would add another piece of iron to it. And it has several little pieces. So it means the tougher the fabric was to get the crease out of, the more weight they would put on it. It was just like lifting weights. You add more weight to it, so this is what they did. I can imagine, I could see myself pressing with one of these things. I'd be exhausted at the end of the day. Let's see if we can see something else. And this one's a winner. See how big that one is? That looks like a 15-pound piece of iron. Can you imagine being a housewife in those days and just the day when you had to iron clothes? I don't know how they did any baking that day. But that's very interesting. Okay, and this is another one. This is an even bigger iron, and this is what they used to call a sad iron. And I knew why they used to call it sad, because of the weight. Okay. And last but not least, we saved the best for last. Okay, this is another regular iron, but of course I haven't seen one shaped like this one that I have. This one is tiny and small, but very heavy. But anyway, thank you so much for being on the program. And I can't stress enough the Statue of Freedom that we discussed with everyone that we had today here, and nobody knew what it was. I was very surprised because that's really a part of history. If it's in Washington, I think everybody should know about it. And take the time to look it up. It's called the Statue of Freedom by Thomas Crawford. And I just urge you to do some research on it, especially kids that are still in school. To me, it's a very important part of history. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I do appreciate your time. And remember that history is in the heart of the collector. And I'll catch you on the next program. Have a good one.